use my body weight to control the front end of the boat as I come under the pole, both on this gate and the next one. Okay, I start to lean there to bring the bow down. And it's an integral part of the paddling. I don't break out of the stroke, it's just there. There's that sweep again. And there's the lean forward to clear the bow under the pole. And this time I come through the gate on the bow rudder before transferring to the sweep. Here we have another look at the half spin reverse. And the important thing here is that reverse sweep there and the quick transfer to a forward sweep, lifting the bow. Another point to note is that as you travel across towards the gate, you want to eliminate too much drift across the gate line towards the far pole. So here I'm still travelling across, and then I push the boat back a little bit there on that left-hand reverse stroke, reach through and drive back on the right-hand sweep. I was probably travelling still a little bit too far towards the right-hand pole as we look at the gate. But there's the forward sweep, throwing the weight back to lift the bow. There's an eddy line there, so the bow needs to be high to avoid getting caught. And there's the same gate and the exit without the forward sweep. That's a very fine line between a 50 and correct direction there. So you have to be very careful. There's the control stroke setting me up. And there's the turn out of the gate and straight into a forward stroke on the same side. Now if the poles are low in that situation, it's quite easy to take a 5. Now we have the same gate but done as a full spin. And there I'm turning well above the gate to set myself up for a fast exit. And again, in that situation you have to be careful to avoid getting a directional 50 by turning too much before the gate. So I've come well across above the gate. I'm turning my head now to look back through the gate as I put the reverse sweep in, sinking the stern, feathering the blade back through and transferring quickly to a forward sweep. There. Okay, on this reverse gate what I'm doing is exiting on the same stroke that I go in on. There's a high pole, so I can just keep the stern down and convert the reverse stroke into a draw. This technique is useful on a gate where you have high poles and you want to exit across the river rather than straight downstream, so that converting the reverse stroke into a forward pull, you can stop the boat drifting downstream. So here we see it once more. Reverse stroke, feathering away, and then pull there. That's another look at the half turn. 1, 2, and lift the bow. A common error on this sort of gate is to let the boat drift into the far pole, and that cramps your position and makes that stroke there very difficult. So the way to prevent that is to come in at a slightly wider approach angle and take the speed off by arcing the turn a little bit and pushing the boat back into the gate before doing the exit reverse stroke. And that's the same gate done as a full spin. Quite often on a slalom course you have the alternative of doing a full spin or a half spin reverse, and people spend a lot of time debating which is quicker, but 9 times out of 10 there's very little time difference, and it's best to settle with the method you feel most comfortable with. Here we have a reverse gate in the eddy, and there are a number of things to look at here. Firstly, the edge control here as you approach the eddy, leading the boat slightly upstream to slow down the approach. Here we can see it again as I approach in slow motion. There, I start to lean the boat there. I can still see the gate. That lean slows the boat down, and then I flatten it off, push back on the reverse stroke, feather it through, and then hold it there to stop the drift downstream and to stop the bow catching in the fast water again. And then that forward pull carries me across the river. And from another angle, now a forward sweep on the exit is the alternative in that situation, but it will depend on where the next gate is positioned. In this case, the next gate was fairly close, and so using just the single stroke to exit the gate allowed me to have much more control. A forward sweep would accelerate the boat away, and I didn't need that. And here we see the same technique adapted for Murano turn. So there. As you can see, I'm not sinking my stern to any great extent. I'm just keeping it slightly below the surface because that gives me maximum amount of control. The tendency here is to go into a mega pivot, and you lose all